You are constantly creating every moment of your life with your thoughts, emotions, and focus. But if you don't understand what's happening at a fundamental level, you may find yourself living by default, on autopilot, automatically reacting to circumstances and blaming yourself, others, or past experiences for why things are the way they are in your current circumstances or overall life. There are two aspects of you: the you that's here, listening to this, in a human body, and the higher aspect of you that is not in human form, whether you think of that as your higher self or God or the universe or whatever. When you were born perfect. You hadn't piled any ideas or judgments or expectations onto yourself, and there was nearly no divide between you and that higher aspect of yourself. But as you got older and started having experiences, interacting with people, getting negative feedback, etc., you developed ideas and beliefs, some or most of which have obscured that knowing and feeling about what you really are, that connection with God, or worse yet, have caused you to believe you have lost connection with that completely. You haven't. Your higher self always remembers that original state. If you've come to believe you're unworthy, that's a form of resistance to all kinds of things you're trying to manifest. But the truth is always there, waiting for you to scrape all the junk away that's accumulated on top of it. There's a sense of well-being under all that stuff. Everything false that you've mistakenly accepted as the truth. Fear, doubt, and frustration are all just misperceptions. When you are seeing clearly, not only do you see all the things you need to see to manifest the things you want, but you feel that underlying sense of well-being. That's why paying attention to how you feel really does matter. How you feel will tell you if you are misperceiving or not. Clear sight feels good. Misperception feels crappy. When you feel joy, enthusiasm, clarity, or love, you are aligned with everything good, not just the things you need for a particular area of your life you want to manifest. When you feel fear, frustration, resentment, or hopelessness, then you're not seeing clearly. Your feelings are likely totally justified based on what you think you see. But the negativity of the emotion is the dead giveaway that you're not looking at the situation through the right eyes. Just ask your higher self or God or the universe or the Holy Spirit or whatever works for you to correct your perception. What am I not seeing? Show me what I'm not seeing. God, allow me to see this situation through your eyes. Allow me to see myself through your eyes. Show me what I'm missing. Correct my perception. Whatever frequency you're offering is what you're going to see. Frequencies aren't always all bad or all good, but it is always a match. If you focus on how bad a situation is, it usually stays that way. If you focus on possibilities, you receive insights that make even more possibilities come to light. If you expect problems, you find them. If you expect opportunities, they appear. Nearly everyone lives reactively, observing their current reality and responding to it. But your power is in shifting your focus before the outer changes, in learning to tune your frequency and perception to see what you want rather than to what you currently see. Let's say someone is rude to you. Your immediate reaction might be frustration or defensiveness. If you spend all day after that complaining about what happened, reliving it, you've sunk into a frequency that just creates more strife for you mentally and probably even in your physical reality. Essentially, you're moving further away from what you want, which is people not to be rude. If you shift your focus to expecting and noticing kindness, you will end up training yourself to barely even notice when people act that way, rude. It's like a habit in that way, a habit that creates a different reality over time. None of this is about controlling the external 3D world. It's about mastery over yourself. The 3D world, like Neville says, is just a shadow. It's a dead world. Everything you see is just your past thinking manifested. You don't need to control the world. Controlling yourself will manifest a different world effortlessly. It must. People try to change their circumstances so they can then feel better. But that's not you controlling the world. That's the world controlling you. I'll feel happy when I have money. I'll feel loved when I meet the right person, such a huge one. I'll feel good about myself when others approve of me. And have you noticed those things never seem to come? They're always just out of reach. Every manifestation starts as a thought, an idea, a frequency. You decide and refine what it is you want. Everything you need already exists, and a path is already there, just waiting for you to walk down it, straight to the thing you want. But then you have to align with it to receive it. If you think tons of thoughts about why it's not for you, why the odds are you won't get it, all the negative possible outcomes related to it, you block it. This isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes you genuinely have ideas you need to work out before you're aligned with the manifestation, and that's totally okay. If you can drop all those ideas somehow, great. You'll line right up with all the cooperative components, as Esther Hicks calls them. But until you can work out those thoughts, which are quite simply put, resistance, then you'll continue to block yourself from walking right to that manifestation. This is why it's nearly impossible to get something when all you're doing is thinking about how you don't have it. You're just seeing that you don't have it. And all the things that match up and support that observation are what you see. If you knew without a doubt you'd have the thing you want, if there were no doubt, you'd relax into a state of happy anticipation. Happy anticipation is the state you're going for in this thought before things experiment. So the best way to become a deliberate manifester is to start to realize that the way you are feeling about the thing you want is an indicator of where you are in relation to it, and to try to move in the direction of happy anticipation by remembering who you truly are, believing that desires exist to be fulfilled, and letting those thoughts of resistance, I'm not good enough for this, there's not time for this to still happen for me, if I get this thing then so-and-so will be jealous, if I get this thing it will change my life too much, just pass by. Just observing them and letting them float by. And remember, everyone in the world who is talking about this is in the process of practicing it and mastering it. We're all here learning to master our focus and to get out of our own way. Start today. Start a little. Start to, at the very least, entertain the idea that your reactions are totally within your control and ability to master.